You know when you ask somebody, wow, this is a little tall. When you ask somebody for them to tell you something interesting about themselves, and you expect that they'll say something personal. Right, well, at least that's what I thought. When I talked to our final comedian, he instead decided to just riddle off some facts about dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean, for a whole hour, I knew nothing about him other than dinosaur facts. So if you ever want to know what happens when a T-Rex fucks a Triceratops, he's your guy. Known as a human Muppet, here is Nathaniel Rosenberg.
Why would she call me a human Muppet? I'm just kidding. I told her to say that. All right. Is there like a storyline to this set? I feel like there's some murder I should be talking about. Okay. So hi guys. I'm Nathaniel. Most of what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is my dating life, and I didn't mean for it to happen that way. It just sort of did. Like, I just keep going on these weird dates, and like, I don't know why. I think it might be because I'm not what you would call book smart. I'm more what you'd call stupid. I'll give you an example. I was on an OkCupid date, which is a great website. It's for when Tinder, Bumble, J-Swipe all don't work out for you, and you still think the app is the problem. Like me, stupid. So I see this girl, and she brought her dog with her. And I love dogs, but I can't compete with them. Like, they're cuter than me, they're more fun, more affectionate. Really, the only thing I have over dogs is that it's not illegal to have sex with me. Like, that's it. It's a big one, but that's it. So the first thing this girl says to me is, "Do you know any dog parks nearby?" At which point I start to get worried as to who the third wheel is on this date. So I was like, oh, I gotta impress her. Yeah, I know tons of dog parks, but I didn't. So I opened up Google Maps on my phone and entered park, and chose the first place that came up. Now, here's something that I didn't realize at the time. Just because something has the word park in its name doesn't mean it's the kind of park you're thinking of, which is how I ended up taking this girl I hadn't met and her dog to a Holocaust memorial park. So we get there, and I realize, and I think she realized too, because she said, "Hey, are we at a Holocaust memorial park?" And like, what do you do at that point? You just have to double down. Like, yeah, we are at a Holocaust memorial park. Oh, have you never been on a date with one of my people before? This is what Jews do on dates. It's also why we don't go on a lot of dates. Another date I was on, it was a better date because we were at a non-Holocaust memorial park. The best kind of parks for dates, honestly. And it was going well at first, and this girl, she turns to me, and she goes, "Hey, the sunset is so beautiful right now." I look at her and I say, "Geez Louise, it sure is." I could have said anything. And I went with the least sexy 2 words in English. It would have been less gross if I was like, I forgot my moist groin ointment, but geez Louise is worse than that. But then once I said it, I got nervous, so I kept saying it, and then I couldn't stop. I kept track though. By the end of the date, I had 5 geez Louise, 3 geez, and 1 Lordy Lou, and I've never said Lordy Lou in my life before. So I feel like that's what you say when you live here, like not when you're a college student. So I've been trying to figure out why, like, in all my dates, like, something's always up, you know? And I think it leads back to the first time, my first date, well, my first kiss. The first time a kiss happened to me, I should say. I was 15. Nice. It was the summer after 10th grade. I was at a pre-college program at Brown University. So it was the first time I had my own dorm. And that was so cool, exciting to me. So on a Friday night, I'm sitting there in my dorm, alone, watching The X-Files. And I'm gonna level with you. The X-Files, I don't know if you know this, it's a pretty spooky show. So I was a little scared to leave my dorm. But then there was a scene where David Duchovny ate a sandwich, and I was like, I can go for one of those. So I went to go get a sandwich, and this is kind of the story of how I was never able to get a sandwich. Because as I'm walking down the sidewalk, I pass by this group of girls, and this one really pretty girl turns around and it's like, hi, I'm Alex. What's your name? Where are you from? I'm Alex. Let me just give you a little backstory on me. Believe it or not, this is the best I've ever been. So if you can picture like this, but like worse. Now picture Jay Baruchel in any of his movies, because his whole gimmick is like my life, where he's like, I'm a nerdy Jew, but hot girls still make out with me sometimes. Isn't that pretty wacky? So that's me. My mom would hate that joke, by the way. My mom is usually very supportive of my stand-up, like kind of too supportive, because I really want to rebel. So I'll be like, hey mom, I'm gonna do stand-up comedy. She's like, that's great, I've always supported that. Well, thanks, but I'd do it even if you didn't support me. But the one thing she doesn't, the one criticism she always gives me is you shouldn't say those things about yourself on stage. They're not true, it's mean. Which makes me wonder what she thinks stand-up is. Like, I could try her way. Be like, hey guys, have you ever noticed what a sweet boy I am? You know, there are two kinds of people in the world. People who go on and on about what a handsome young man I am, and friggin' idiots. I'm a sweet boy. No, but I am a sweet boy. That's a true fact about me. And maybe that was why this random girl on the streets just, hi, I'm Alex. What's your name? I'm Alex. Where are you from? What's your number? And like before I even had a chance to be like, are you sure? We were exchanging phone numbers. And it was crazy. I was like, what am I doing? How do I keep doing that? And if I had ever kissed a girl before, which I hadn't at the time, I would have noticed some red flags. Like she said things like, we're totally soulmates, and I'm a vegan. But missed them. And before I know it, we're just walking back to her dorm. And I like kind of started making some casual small talk as I'm going like, so how many siblings do you have? She just grabs me by the shoulders, pushes me up against a parked truck, and kisses me right on the mouth. My first kiss ever. So I'm like, all right, yeah, your dorm. So suddenly we're in her dorm. I don't know like what's happening. I still haven't gotten a sandwich. I'm hungry, but also excited. It's crazy. And then when we get there, she opens up her drawer and pulls out this like sexy leopard print cat suit. It's like, hey, look. I'm like, I see. Why do you have a cat suit? Oh, just in case, you never know, right? I guess someone could be like, I'm being eaten by a cheetah, someone seduce it. But besides that, I don't know when you'd need it. She puts the cat ears on me. I'm like, this isn't a red flag. And then finally her friends leave, because her friends were with us that whole time. I didn't know the vibe. And the two of us are just sitting on her bed, and as we're talking, our faces are getting closer together until we're like this. At which point I'm thinking, I think she might be into me, but I'm not sure. So I make my move, if you count a move as, and we make out, and it was cool. We didn't have sex, by the way, we just made out. I'm only saying this because my parents saw this set once, and afterwards my dad came up to me and he was like, so, did you two have fuck? First of all, what was the vocab change? And also, no! Well, all right, I'd be cool with it if you did. Please don't be. There is a time and place for cool dad, and it is not here. I need boundaries. Honestly, like, it would have been a cool story, kind of, but then the second night happened. I'm alone, Saturday night, in my dorm, this time watching the movie Vampire's Kiss, starring Nicolas Cage. I don't know if you guys know it. And let me just say, I don't know what anyone else said about him, but he's a great actor. The problem with him is just that he commits really hard to really bad scripts. No one is going to seem like a good actor when their lines are, and I quote, "I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire, I'm a vampire. Oh." It's not his fault. Thank you. So I get a call from Alex, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just watching this Nick Cage movie. Did you know that Nicolas Cage? Whatever. Okay, come meet me on the sidewalk right over here." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm still like, why is she so into me? How did I keep doing this? And I walk down the sidewalk, and I get to her, and I see her. I don't know if you've ever been hit in the face by a ball, where it's like you have time to see the ball coming, but not enough time to move out of the way. But that was kind of like that, except instead of a ball, I saw this girl on the crowded, bumping late-night streets wearing nothing but a sexy, full-body leopard print catsuit. That was it. So she comes up to me, her, like, tail dragging across the floor. It's like, "Hi," like, as if nothing was weird about this. I'm like, "Hi, you're in a catsuit." You know, stating the obvious. And she's like, "Yeah, it's a joke. Like, I guess technically." And I'm like, "All right, so pretty funny. Let's go back to your dorm." "Nah, no, I'm fine out here." "No, it's cool. We can go back to your dorm." No. I want to be out here wearing this in front of everyone." "Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw that red flag, but it was a little too late at that point." So I'm like, "All right, well, I haven't eaten. I can go for a sandwich." And she said, and I quote, "Oh, that'd be so cute. Like a date. Haha, let's go to that alley over there." What is this? We need to define the relationship. As we're walking over, we pass by one of my friends from class, and and my friend sees me with this like cat girl like hanging on me. Like, you're like, "Oh, hi. I bet you're wondering what the context is of this." Well, there isn't any. I'll see you in class and then never talk to you again. And I didn't. We get to the alleyway, we make out some more, and until she stops me and goes, "Hey, listen, there's something I have to tell you." And that's something that's scary to hear from someone in normal clothes. So when you're in a dark alley with a girl in a cat suit, you listen. So I'm like, "All right, yeah, we're at that level. You can tell me anything." "All right." Swear to God. "I'm not a person." "Oh, right. You're not a person. You're a cat." "No, I'm being serious." As if I was the weird one in this scenario. "I'm not a person, I'm a concept. I'm just an idea of love floating through space. 1 second I'll be here, the next I'll explode." "Cool, yeah, okay. When you murder me, just let my family know that I'm dead and that I want to be cryogenically frozen. Walt Disney was frozen. He's an anti-Semite. I want to be frozen right across from him going like, so he doesn't see me." So we spent the rest of the night making out in random public places. I was like, "Hey, everyone can see us." And she was like, "Oh, I'm not worried." I'm like, "Oh, that was my concern. Okay, cool." She got a lot of, and I'm sorry, I can't avoid this pun, cat calls. I'm so sorry. Not part of my act. It's a coincidence. But whenever she would get a cat call, she would like walk up to those people and like have a conversation and like take photos with them. And I'm like off to the side, like, "Yeah, you go." I know her. And then afterwards, she came back up to me and she was like, "Oh, hey, you stayed. Most guys would have left by now." That was an option? I didn't know I could have done that. I became Jerry for a second. I don't know that. I didn't know. She's a girl, she's a cat. I don't know. And so as I was about to take her up on that great offer, we run into one of her friends. And her friend, without batting an eye, goes, "Ah, I see it's the disco cat." "Alex, who is the disco cat?" "Oh, that's my alter ego." So I wasn't even on a date with Alex. I was on a date with Disco Cat. And once again, can't avoid the pun, I was catfished. And then I realized like why she was so into me. It wasn't that I was a nice boy. It wasn't my personality. I was just, at this point in my life, so awkward, so agreeable and blank that she could just project whatever like character she wanted onto me and play out this like weird stranger fantasy. And that felt like really gross. I didn't like that because it felt like my first kiss was like fake. But it's okay now because the next morning I texted all my friends and I said, hey guys, I made out with a super hot girl. And they were like, oh dude, give us details. And I was like, no. Then I got a goddamn sandwich. Thank you.